This is your brother Farouk Hunter, chairman of the Freedom Nation, and it is time once again for us to have an update. It's February 2023. Let's go ahead and kick it off. So, probably one of the most interesting things, my beard is weird. Probably the most interesting things about the update this year, I'm not getting better, I'm doing this. Okay. Probably the most interesting thing this year about our update is that it's going to change in its format a little bit. You know, normally I sit here behind the desk, and this is me behind my work desk. In front of me, I've got the screen, and I tell you about everything that's going on in the Freedom Nation, all the work, all the projects. But you know, that is coming to a point where it's getting a little too complex to do, because there are so many things going on right now. I mean, everything from events. There are building projects and events in the village. There are events that are being planned for meetings and town hall meetings in May. We have a big event we're trying to plan in October. Huge, in Donald Trump way, huge event that we're trying to plan in October. Also, we have just building the first 5 houses that's happening. We've got 30 extra lots that we've now subjugated inside the Freedom Village. We've got our business programs that are already happening, and we have new bonded warehouses. We got all the licenses in cargos, so we are building, and we're also looking for some quick and rapid ways to build because we're on the Chinese border. So we've decided to just go ahead and use some prefab structures in order to put things up. I could keep going, and I could tell you that there's so much going on that it's becoming impossible for you to only find out through this video or through forum or even through a meeting that we have together online. So what we've put our work into is figuring out how do we scale information and transparency for the citizens, but in such a way where you're receiving relevant information. I didn't even mention the Dow. I didn't even mention the Treasury. I didn't mention our UEB project. I didn't mention all these other things that are there now that are going full swing. So late last year we released, but throughout the entire year we built the Freedom Nation Citizen Portal. In the past, we've had a set of different technologies that have been put together in order to run the Freedom Nation. It's been a very interesting, I would say interesting thing, but the main thing is just been a necessity. It's what we had to do based on the fact that we had so many different things we wanted to do. So we were using maybe about 9-10 different softwares in the background in order to give order to the Freedom Nation. And now we've started to consolidate to one big software, one single web platform, and in that web platform, one tool that is accessible by all citizens. And that is called the Freedom Nation Citizen Portal. What I want to use this update for is to show you the things that you're missing out on if you have not joined the portal. And I should also remind you that being in the portal requires you to pay your citizen dues. Right now, we are only accepting citizen dues through the portal. There are a couple of outliers, but we don't want to continue that. We want people to come in, pay the dues. I remind you that your citizen dues are the cost of just the gas to get to work for one single day in the month. It's $20 a month. It is extremely affordable. Anyone who is serious about building the future that we all co-envision will not see the citizen dues as a big expense. However, that little small expense goes a really long way. There is the software that we use, we pay for, our hosting service we pay for our staff that supports you from the Citizen Liaison Office, we pay for all the administrative things. Well, we pay for some of the administrative things. We do a lot of that out of pocket as well, and we haven't got to the point where that covers all of that. But we also pay the taxes on the land. There is no such thing as a landowner that should not be paying his dues. If you are a landowner in Freedom Village and you're not paying your dues, then you run the risk that's higher than someone who's not a landowner. Because if you're a landowner not paying your dues, I want to make this and I want to hammer it down, putting the hands up. You are a landowner not paying your dues. It means you're not paying your taxes, nor are you paying the standardized fees that are built into the association. It is written in your condominium association that you have to be a citizen in good standing and you have to have your citizen dues paid in order to be current on your payments in the village. We have no recourse, none, zero, no other way in order to say this is a bad thing except for to put a lien on your property. And the condominium puts a lien on your property. It's a little different than a traditional one. That lien will have to be taken. The only way to liquidate a lien to get the money back out is to sell the property. Let me say that to you because it's really, really, really serious. We pay taxes on the land collectively. There's no individual method. It doesn't exist, right? You cannot go directly to the county and pay taxes for your land in the condominium agreement of the Freedom Village, Georgia. You must pay it through your dues. When you pay your dues, you have the blessing and the benefit that you are now paying for your taxes as well. Do not usurp, do not pay these things because taxes are upon us. We're about to pay out a tax bill this month or early next month. That bill will go out. We pay it regardless. And after we pay it, and that money takes from the kitty, we're going to look back and say, well, how many landowners didn't pay their dues? And we're going to have to. We're going to have to go down and issue you a lien against your property based on your inability to pay those taxes. And that lien will eventually lead to a possibility of you losing your land if you just neglect it. We do not want inactive citizens. The least you can do is pay your dues. That is the least. So that was the heavy. Let's get light. So basically, I'd like to show you what you are missing if you have not been in the portal and if you are not active in our Slack groups. And I think it's time to do that right now. So switching over. Switch over. There we go. There's a lag in the corner. That's because we're streaming while I'm doing this. So of course, that's one thing. First, number one is you're missing streaming opportunities. So live at Freedom Virtual. Freedom Virtual is one of those things that you most likely are missing if you have not been on the portal. Okay, because what we're doing is we take everything that's out there. So we take our Freedom Village Council meetings, we take our subcommittee meetings, we take the voting, we take the elections, we take everything that we possibly can, even the design of the homes, and we cast it through our channel, which is hosted by Twitch, but it's here inside the Freedom Nation portal. It's right here. You can see it nice and big, Freedom Virtual Live. It's in the portal. You're missing it if you're not in the portal. Secondarily, you're missing the Treasury. Now, there's videos about the Treasury. I'm not going to go through this. But basically, you're missing the entire development of our collective investment treasury. Right here inside of the portal, you can actually click. Let's click it. All right. And you can actually buy tokens. We have launched our own cryptocurrency. And in that cryptocurrency, we're basically doing an initial offering here. And in that cryptocurrency, if you have your crypto wallets and everything else, okay, you can actually buy tokens that allow you to operate inside of the inside of our treasury that we're using to fund infrastructure projects. Second, what you might have missed out on, and by the way, I'm just going to hit this later on and say this here. There's an entire learning center here for everything that's inside the portal. You can come inside and find out. One of them is about the treasury balance and understanding treasury. There's informational videos. You're missing out on all of that. Tons of work that's been done to show you how to post an event, how to reserve an event, how to get into the portal, and do all the things you need to do. If you're not inside the portal, one of the things that you're also missing, it's going to load and do its thing. And here we go. Hold on. Let's add something to this here. Voila, I'm in. I think I was wondering if I was going to block the screen, but I think seeing me is awesome. Debonair. So, and of course, during the update, I'm a little more goofy when I'm geeky. I mean, the software up on the screen, so I can't help it. My geek just rises to the surface. You know, you're going to have to forgive me for that. So inside of here, you're also missing the ability to book for the town hall. There is no other way. We are not using any other method for you to book the town hall meeting. So you have to come here, go to upcoming events, or go on the side over here to community events, and you can come into the portal and you can book your space in the upcoming town hall meeting on May 11th. The deadline is February 18th. Listen, we decided to do this thing in May. That means that we fell in the spring. The reason I did it in October was because, the reason we tried to do it in September was because not so many people booked Lindy Creek Lodge in September. But now we're, of course, doing this in May. Spring is a busy time. And the lodge gets booked very quickly. If we can't get everyone's bookings by February 18th, we will not have a town hall meeting in May. I'm just going to say it. Last year, because of some of the scheduling snafus, our company ended up coming out of pocket about $5,000 in order to pay for the people who did not book because we didn't have full booking of the lodge. We're not going to do that this year. We're not going to spend that money. If we can't get everybody ready to come to the town hall meeting before February 18th, and what do I mean? All you have to do is pay the $300 deposit. Pay the $300 deposit so that we can pay it directly to the lodge to hold the space for us. And once we pay that deposit, they'll hold it. They won't have any problem holding the dates for us. But if we can't do that, then we don't want to pay it out of pocket again this year because it's not scalable. It's not scalable for us to continue to do things like that. So we're not going to continue. So the thing is, we want to make sure that we book here in the portal. You have to be in the portal. You have to have your dues paid. And even if you're just showing up and you're not staying, it's okay. No problem. You can go ahead and click inside here, and once you get in here, and it's going to load, you can pay your deposit in the portal. You don't have, or you can pay in full. It's up to you. You can choose single, double, or meals only. If you want to do meals only, it's fine. You know, it goes ahead and gives you the meals only price, $250. Remember, $250 includes everyone who attends will pay for meals. This includes meals for you, your spouse, and your children. So if you pay the $250, that's for you, your spouse, and 2 kids. It's 4 people. You, your spouse, and 2 kids. And if you have more than that, then we can talk. You can just pay that and we'll talk about it. We don't want to overtax anybody whatsoever. Single rooms, there's the price. Double rooms, there's the price. If we come down here, you'll see all of the rooms that are available and the quantity is updated automatically. One of the reasons why we're using the portal self-service is because you can see all the information. You don't have to ask too many questions. And if you have questions, you can. I mean, you can ask Sandra. She's available in the pop-up chat right over here. And Sandra will talk to you. I think I'm blocking it with my video. I can scoot me over a little bit. You can see that, right? But you can ask Sandra. And then if you can't ask the Sandra, who's our bot, then you can also roll over to a citizen liaison through that chat and ask them immediately. They'll help you. So all the help is in the portal. That's one of the things that's paid for by the dues is having that person accessible and available. If they happen to miss you because they're into another conversation, they always get back. It sets up a whole ticket in our system, and we always get back with our citizens. Okay, so you're absolutely missing the ability to book the events. Under the other events that we have, it's going to load up. We have these events, the one in October as well. And you don't want to miss the one in October. We're still planning it, but even the planning process you're missing. Because inside of the portal, I'm going to go back to the dashboard real quick. I'm going to show you what's also here. Remember, the portal has all of the updates, all the information, all the ability to engage is right here. So you're missing this, communities and committees. There is a set place for all communities and committees within the Freedom Nation, and they're growing in a diverse way. Let's click all, because I want to see all of them. Now, once you get into the space that shows you all the different committees, you're missing the live and learn. So we've created a space where other citizens can offer up their learning for other people to consume. Now, here's a cool thing. On Facebook, we've been given the ability to do paid video. What we would like to use that for is not by putting more content out from this office or from our main office. We want to put citizen content out. So what you've missed, which is huge, is, for example, if you make soap or if you do anything, there's a huge ability to sell it directly to the citizens. All you have to do is get into the live and learn, and when you get live and learn from each other, post that you want to do the class. If you give us the videos, we will put the paid video up on our channels on Facebook. We'll put it inside our spaces and funnel all the money back to you, every dime, every single dime, back to the person who originated, and we will promote it to the citizenry. That's there. If you're not in the portal, you wouldn't know. Freedom Village Council. Well, let's go in there because I want to show you. Not only has the Freedom Village Council had 2 official meetings in the Freedom Village, they've made significant decisions around the rules of the Freedom Village that are being added to the condominium agreement as our rules and procedures. Meeting links, right there. There's your Zoom meeting link for the last Freedom Village Council. In addition to the meeting link, we had the agenda. Everything is here. The previous agenda is there. Right, let me see if I can open link in a new tab. There it goes. There's the whole agenda and all of the notes from the last meeting. We are an extremely transparent organization, movement, community. It is hard to find communities with this level of transparency, but you've got to take advantage of it. You really have to be involved. But these are the things that you're missing if you're not paying your dues and if you're not inside the portal. Inside the Freedom Village Council, you'll also find all the upcoming agendas. So what you might have also missed is that the Freedom Village Council now meets twice. I think it's monthly. They meet twice a month. So essentially, one meeting, they organize what's going to be on the calendar, what's going to be on the schedule, and how do you put things on the calendar. How do you say, I want to submit something to the Freedom Village Council? In the portal, inside this group, just by putting this. That's it. And you driving the rules, the procedures, the developments, everything inside of the Freedom Village just by your involvement in the portal. So in here is where we put our request to get on the calendar. It's reviewed at the next Freedom Village Council meeting. And then after they review it, they have a committee meeting, just the committee members, the council members. And then they'll put it on the calendar, publicize the calendar, and put the calendar out there. There's a 4-week lead time that you have to give if you want to put something on the council calendar to be voted on in the village. You have your own governance, but you must be in the portal. Got to be in the portal. Need to be in the portal. There's also documents that are uploaded already inside of the council. I'm going to go through it here so I don't have to go through it in the other ones because each one of these groups is laid out the same way, right? So there's approved agendas. It's right there. Look, there's a whole folder for approved agendas. So if you're running around asking, what was the approved agenda, right? View all docs and approved agenda. What was the approved agenda? What was it that we were going to discuss? It's here. It's uploaded early. It's there. You can go straight into it and grab it and understand. I know a lot of us who belong to different kinds of movements, different kinds of institutions. They do not offer this level of transparency, but it's for those who access it. So there's a council agenda right there, just right there. It's right there, sitting on the portal, waiting for you, like Jeopardy. I'm being this way because we have a couple of citizens who are slow to join the portal, and I am trying to really, and I hate to say this, antagonize you to go ahead and do what's necessary to be involved in the movement that you registered for and for which you are an owner of. You're an owner of it. For those of us who are in the portal, we know quite a few of this stuff, but I'm also going to open up some spaces that maybe some people in the portal might not have paid attention to, because there's a lot. There is a lot of information, a lot of things going on. Freedom Nation Gun Club is there. We've asked for Brother Wazir in order to, Brother Yashir to go ahead and run the gun club. I apologize. I'm shooting this film. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. My head is getting straight. Sorry, brother. I didn't mean to do it. But he's running the Freedom Club, and we have something very important. There are very few places in the village that are designated for shooting. If you want to go and use the shooting area inside the village, you need to join the gun club. The gun club will answer to the security subcommittee under the village council. See, these are the things that you need to know if you're involved. It's very important that we start to monitor our security. We have real families living in the village, and the more families we have there, even if just one person is there, we need to ensure. But for right now, we have several families in the village who have children, and we need to make sure that we do that. So the gun club has been set up to arrange events that involve us going out and unloading several rounds of very expensive ammunition into the dirt. But yes, and I'm one of those crazy people that like to do that. The Freedom Nation Dow Treasury. There's an entire conversation going on inside of this group, inside of the portal, right? And you need to be part of this conversation, because I'm going to show you some of the topics that are being held in the forum. So in the forum, we're going to click here, forum. I didn't show that in the previous group, so I'm going to open up that space now. In the previous groups, we've got the forum, and there are two major topics here. Here's one of them. Provide a $50,000 3-year hard money loan to Freedom Citizen towards 20% down. So we have our 2020 program for buying homes that are built in factory and delivered to the village and then set up on site. It is an awesome program, but some people are having problems paying the initial 20%. We are now having a discussion about raising money from other citizens to provide the $50,000 loan for 3 years to allow people to pay the 20% a lot more easier, that way getting into home buying. This reduces your cost of getting into your home to the time to 6 months, and reduces the cost between the first initial payment and the first 6 months. Even on a 2,000 square foot home, this will reduce it to about $6,000. Look, it's the best deal in town. Most places, I know for a fact, if you're in Atlanta, if you're in Baltimore, if you're in, we don't even talk about California, if you're in New York or whatever, to get into a rental property right now, it costs you more than $6,000. You've got to put down $2,000 in the beginning, $2,000 for the end, and you got to put $2,000 for your current payment. That's how much we're trying to make it so you can actually buy your home and buy your land in the Freedom Village. Best deal in town. And then get a 0% financing after that. That conversation is going real time. And just to show you how serious the conversation is, the vote in the Treasury ends in February this month. Once it falls off without the proper support, someone else will have to reintroduce it. I will tell you that to initiate the Treasury, I introduced it personally. We'll go into the voting platform. Here's the Treasury voting platform. And right now I can tell you it doesn't have enough support because we don't have a level of engagement. This money can go to fund your house. I mean, your house. If you're sitting right now trying to figure out what to do next, this is for that. And it just requires your involvement to make it a reality. That's it. Doesn't even require for you necessarily to invest. There are people other to invest, but you have to be involved in the conversation to tell people why it makes sense. Why it makes sense. Why it makes sense. That's realistic. It's sitting there in the portal. If you've paid your dues, if you're involved, then you're involved. Another big thing that's here, and I like to go back to communities because the communities and communities area is one of those areas of the portal that just constantly grows, expands, has amazing things happening inside of it. There is the Citizen Outreach and Recruiting Subcommittee, right? That's actually run by Freedom Nation. We have several different ads that are going out right now. If you've seen them, we've got this whole methodology we developed around the outreach now that deals more along the lines of reminding people of the wonderful lifestyle that is afforded to them by being around other black people. And so we're just putting out those images and those pictures, and maybe at the risk of exposing my Facebook, I can actually show some of this. Here's some of it, right? This is part of our outreach function, right? And we're doing some of this stuff now. I'm going to kill my video just so we can play our sister dancing, right? I mean, it's stuff like this, just wonderful black images, black video, people just not really overemphasizing black or white, but really emphasizing that when we come together, we do unique things and we love each other. We have a unique culture, a unique way, unique things that we're a part of. For example, I mean, it's a great example, right? I'm just going to scoot my video over down here, right? But when we come together, we do unique things. These are undoubtedly black things, right? I don't know if you did this in the South, snapping peas and chucking, we call it chucking peas, right? Double Dutch in the street, so there's one mosque back there. I don't know which mosque that is, but that's one of the folks' mosques. I don't know if that's one in Houston or whatever, but it looks very familiar, right? So there you go, jumping, double Dutch right there. I mean, this is our life, this is our space. So we've got a whole set of videos out there now and a whole set of advertisements. We did whole classes on psychological marketing methodologies in order to try to figure out how to actually reach black people more often. This is one of the greatest ones. It's actually trending better than everything else right now. This idea of just getting your hair done. And then this one is trending as well. I mean, this is black life, right? But if you're not part of the portal, then you're missing all of that. All of that wonderful information that's being shared about black people, about understanding. I'll tell you another part that's in the portal that's part of that same committee is this. I'm going to, like I said, at the fear of exposing some of my own personal stuff, which is just fine with me to an extent. You're missing the development of what we call the Black American empowerment landscape. Now, this has been something that, if you can see, these are the different black groups. Each one is a different one. And we've been mapping out exactly where these black groups sit and how they interconnect to one another and overlap so we can understand how to outreach and reach out to different black groups better. And this landscape has been a work that will probably take about 2 years to complete, but it is one of those big things that's part of being inside of that subcommittee. If you're in the portal, you're involved. If you're not, you're not. So if you're in the portal, you've paid your dues, you're involved. Freedom Virtual is, of course, we're just building out as many virtual components as possible. One of the great things we've done is to really show off how we build the actual houses. So like going through the builds and stuff like that. And if you've been to the Freedom Builders website lately, as we go through the Foundational 5 development, which we've agreed to do 5 custom design homes that will then turn into our long-term designs for the house. You've missed that we've actually been online filming the whole thing as it goes. So we're actually taking, as we develop these houses, we design them and go through design sessions. We've been doing them collectively so that everybody can see us design Sister Nina Shabazz's house. And everybody can take part of us designing Brother Anthony Perkins and Sister Iman's house, right? Or there you go. And all that's being done in real time, live on the portal so that you can see it and be a part of it. And this is a communal development at an unprecedented level of transparency. right? We also have the Village Subdivision Planning Committee. And I can tell you that Sister Nina has been very good at working with the Subdivision Planning Committee. We are planning out a subdivision that will get the actual laws that will allow us to do whatever we are going to do in the Freedom Village. All of that conversation is live. We've had 2 meetings now, and Sister Nina is putting the updates and everything, and the next meetings are posted here. And then the Freedom Village Experience Event Planning Committee. So that's the October event, getting in on planning it so that, you can get a booth, you can set up a tent, you can set up exactly what's going on, you can be part of the theme, so forth and so on. All of that's here inside of the Freedom Nation portal today. Not even just to mention access to the Slack, which has a continuous conversation going on. Other things you might have missed if you're not part of portal is the fact that we have, for example, in our Slack, and I'm not going to pull up the Slack screen right now because the conversation is pretty in depth, but in our Slack, we've gotten to the point where we're doing perk tests. And again, I'm going to have to move my video over again, just not to be intrusive. That's why I cut it off in the first place. But basically, there's a whole article here about the perk test. And what you might have missed is this entire article explaining what we're currently going through in the village, what we're planning. We have, if you're in the Slack, you would know automatically that we're talking to 2 different vendors that are certified by the Department of Health in Georgia in order to do perk tests in the village. What a perk test is listed here. Information on how your septic tank has to be laid out. All the information that you'll need to know. Things about design septic tank. All this is happening live. It's happening in real time. And we are updating our citizens as long as, once again, they're part of the portal and they paid their dues. Also, you would have noticed that Brother David and Sister Maria, please don't kill me. That was my voice early in the morning. I don't like mispronouncing anybody's name. So Brother David and Sister Maria have put together, as a part of the Grove at Freedom Village, they've put together a build out and a barn raising. And they had several members of the community come out and help and work and do actual work. These are the live pictures. And this is happening in the village right now. And you, of course, will be a part of it. You can be involved if you are in the portal and you have paid your dues. Okay? Beat the dead horse. Right? And you would see a lot of very cool information about the projects that they're doing and how they're set up and so forth and so on. So, it's really worth coming in and understanding what's inside the portal. This is a portal. Portal meaning like a hole that opens you up into a new space. The entire Freedom Village Nation, all of it together, and all things are happening and being seen in the portal. Also, you would know that the conversation for the hard money loans, okay, is going to happen. It's happened already. We're going to move it to another week and have another conversation around it. Your ability to vote on any upcoming or existing topics is here in the portal. There's no other place to vote, right? You would have had access to the fact that one of our citizens, Musa Hassan, who just set up the restaurant in Sparta, is there. So when you visit the village, you can see that you can go down and get some chicken and waffles with Brother Musa. Visit his farm that's there in Sparta, down the street from the village. All the different hoop houses he has. He's got a growing season going. He just picked all the fruits from the fruit trees before they got something like 75 different fruit trees down there. He's got the mushroom factory and all that stuff right there in Sparta. And you would know that if you were in the portal and you would pay your dues. Right? Those of us are there. There's Bread and Butter Farms, Brother Musa and his wife, Connie. Very beautiful people, very beautiful citizens of the Freedom Nation. And just to kind of go into our news a little bit, right? You'd also know that there are very active projects from the Freedom Nation going on in Ghana right now. Very active. We have citizens on the ground who are making big headways, working with cocoa butter, shea butter, gold, real gold, like actually mining real gold. This is one of our Freedom Nation founders. And then you would know that was happening in the village in real time. And that's happening in developing our village in Africa for those of us who want to be connected to the continent. All of this is in the Freedom Nation citizen portal. There's a lot more. There are products and services that are there that are being offered every time something new. So right now we're making phone calls to everybody at Freedom Plan to reinitiate the coaching program. And the coaching program is here. We've added some really cool things inside of our buying platform that are there. If you're a business citizen, you would have noticed that we kicked off our business citizen wholesale builder profit accelerator. And that's a big thing. Huge thing. That's between the Slack and everything else. I think I like the Donald Trump. Huge thing. Huge. Right? So, I mean, we don't get to see the idiot on TV as much because I don't watch it when he's on TV. So, I think we say here. So, there's all this here, the Citizen Knowledge Center, the support tickets. So, if you're going to engage, if you want to visit the village, you put in a support ticket. We'll make sure that you have all the arrangements, the village, somebody who's there to make sure they walk you through, get you down to your property, everything else. Our land purchasing and home buying center. If you want to buy land, like I said, we have 30 new plots that we made available. If you're inside here, you'd know that because in the land purchasing center, the inventory has increased in the land purchasing center. You have all the information, right? So I'm going to scoot this over again. You have all the information, the videos of our walkthroughs of the village. You'd see the fact that we have all of the maps here. We have PDF downloads of all the surveys and maps. We have the entire condominium declaration. We have the Freedom Village e-commerce village presentation and all of its renderings and its plans and layouts and cargoes inside of Kazakhstan. Every piece of land that's owned by the Freedom Nation, all the information is here. And the ability to buy that land is self-service. Just come in, it's here. There's all the new Freedom Village lots right there. There's only 20 of them left, right? And those are like the last 20. You can see we're out of capacity. We took up the entire village with these lots. We have nowhere else to put any lots. So this really is it. After this, there's nothing else we can do to fit you in the Freedom Village. If you take advantage of this, then you're a winner. If you don't, then you missed out. And all you need is your citizen ID, and you need to be able to choose your lot. All the questions and answers are here. All the information on lot purchasing that you'll need, directions and instructions on how to do it are here. And the same goes for the home buying center. We have the home buying center is set up, ready to be used. All the information is there. And to initiate all of the contracts for your home buying as an extension of your Freedom Citizen Agreement is right here with a nice big explainer video. You'll see me twice, it's scary. But nice big explainer video explaining exactly how to do that and how to use the program to your benefit so that we can custom build your home. We even have one of the walkthroughs. I'll mute that. Right? There's one of the walkthroughs of one of the previous homes. That got a little too big. Let's pull that down. Leave it in the corner over there. I'll put myself right beside it. Right? So this is the walkthroughs through some of the designs so that you can familiarize yourself with the custom designs that we're doing for the different citizens around their particular desires to have houses done in very specific ways. Each one is very different. Each one is driven by the ideas and the livability of that person and what they want. And once again, it's available on the portal for those who are on the portal and who are current with their citizen dues. And to be honest with you, there is still a lot more. Most of those things are accessible here inside of our products and services, Freedom Village Live, community events, community news, so much inside the portal that's available to you to go in, and it is updated daily and at the least weekly. There are new features, there's new information, there are new updates. It coincides with the information that you get inside of the Slack as well, because in the Slack is where we cover the conversation of what's going on, but in the portal is where we put the official record of what's going on. So you'll need to be in the portal to do that. So the biggest update I have for you, the absolute biggest update I have for you in February is that involvement is through the portal. And I didn't go through even a half of what's here because I didn't even get into how you can update your own profile, how you can set your own events, how you can build your own things that you can now connect, how you can manage all your membership accounts, you can access all of your payment records. I didn't go in there for a reason. You can access all your payment records and everything in the portal. Everything that you've ever done with the Freedom Village, everything you will done is in the portal and available for you. You must use it in order to interact. Also, once again, I'll just talk about the Learning Center. We're constantly shooting more and more videos to teach you how to use the portal. We want you to be very proficient in how to use this tool to your benefit. So all of these videos are here. You can click any of them. You know, like for instance, you want to know about the treasury balance. Right there, screaming guy with afro. Okay, then explain about the treasury balance, what that is. You want to learn how to reserve an event. Once again, screaming guy with afro. And then information about how to reserve a paid event on the portal. So all of this work is being done. It is a lot of work. Even me, I'm starting to get tired by having the conversation because I understand all the work behind it. Every time I click on something, I think about the hours and hours and hours spent trying to put this out here just to make it so that we can speed up the process of involvement and increase the level of transparency. We're trying to build the ideal community, people. And doing it is hard. And there's a lot of work. But our job here at Freedom Nation, our main offices and our support company, GNSCO Support Services, is about trying to make it as accessible for you as possible. But you have to use the tools. And we ask you, please, pay the small dues, $20 a month. If you got an addiction to Chick-fil-A, dude, that's 2 Chick-fil-A burgers and some fries and a drink. And so that's worth it, right? I mean, if building the Freedom Nation is not worth as much as Chick-fil-A, then, you know, let's give it to the Chick-fil-A guy. You know, he's a nice enough guy. Met his dad. His dad passed away. The guy who founded Chick-fil-A. He's a nice Christian guy. You know, they make everybody have prayer circles once a month inside of there, everything like that. But, you know, if we want to pay for his endeavors more than pay for ours, go for it. Otherwise, I spend my Chick-fil-A money at the Freedom Nation, and I gain access to all these wonderful tools that help me build the ideal community. That is my update. That is what I have to share for this time around. And that is the February 2023 update for the Freedom Nation. For all of our Freedom citizens, we ask you to be involved. And I guess I probably need to leave out with just one single thing. And it's, once again, on the portal. I'm asking you that when you make your way to the portal, that you go to the right-hand side of your dashboard. Okay, this is actually really important. So I'm gonna kind of move myself over again, and I ask that you make your way and that you look at this video here, right here. This video has been designed. We talked about this in August, and what we talked about was developing a video that talked about the expectations of Freedom citizens. We've completed this video just for that purpose, to talk about the expectations of being a Freedom citizen. I can tell you right now, it's 3 pieces. There's a 20-minute presentation around these 3 pieces, but it's 3 pieces. And that's 1, stay involved. 2, maintain trust between yourself, the Freedom Nation, and all your other citizens. And 3, love each other. Those are the expectations. Stay involved, maintain trust, love each other. We want this from every single citizen all the way through. First part, stay involved. The way you stay involved is by coming onto the portal, paying your dues. And that is our update for 2023. I can't say anything more important than that. Open up the portal, join, be involved. Do not just sit along the sidelines hoping that this thing will materialize on its own without your effort. You're important. You're important. You are extremely important to this movement. And without your effort and your involvement, it will not succeed. It is not something that will just go on regardless. My beard looks crazy, right? But, excuse me, but seriously, with all seriousness, it can't go on without your involvement. We are not some church organization or mosque or anything of that nature who then requires for you to pay through donations. That's not our bid. We built this organization based on making sure we provide value with every interaction. The portal and all the services provide immense value to anyone who's trying to build a life of self-governance and self-sustainable who is African American. But you must be involved. You must be involved. You must be involved. First step, go to the portal, make sure you're signed up, and make sure your dues are paid in full. That's the update for February. This is your brother Farouk Hunter, as always, with much love and with trust in our abilities to do amazing things for ourselves. I say, Uhuru, Assalamu Alaikum, Shalom. What's the opposite of Grand Rising? I'll just say Grand Rising. And much love to all of my citizens.